And welcome to the Writer's Life. On this really hot day. I went out for a run this morning. I think I lost like 10 pounds of water weight, which I'm sure to put back on later on tonight if I have a couple beers. But anyway, subscribe, punch the like button, and tap the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on one exciting video. Maybe I'll move the mic a little bit closer. So, that whole thing about judgments in the title. I've been reading a lot about Marcus Aurelius lately, especially because I go to Rome a lot and consider him probably the greatest Roman leader ever. He had the most common sense out of any of them. And he was a fair man, and he was a wise man, and he was also a man's man, and he was a thinker and a learner. He was learning all the way up until the day he died. He was consulting with philosophers and things like that. And he wrote these meditations, and he wrote them in Greek so that because he considered Greek a more beautiful language. And he had no idea that one day they would be published commercially. He just wrote them for himself. Literally like rules for living for himself. And, he wrote them 2,000 years ago and they still hold true today. So, like the first one I'm going over, I'm going to go over a few of them during the week. This is, the title about judgments. And that's basically what he's trying to say is, and this holds true in the writing industry, believe me, is that shit happens and you have no control over it. You have zero control over it. I've been at the real high points of this business, and I've been in the toilet in this business. And but for the most part, I've just sort of ridden the wave and survived and done better than surviving. And and that's all you can hope for, really. Some people are just trying to get famous, and if something gets in their way, or if they perceive another author as being a threat to them, or a publisher, or whatever, or an agent, or they get offended, who knows, or it upsets them, they lose sleep, they have anxiety, it affects their writing, stuff like that. For me, just about anything that happens these days is just water off a duck's back. I do my thing, and I don't let anything else affect me. And I do my thing my way, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, and no one's going to tell me what to do. And in return for that, I feel as though I can put out more work faster, and and that's better for my fans. That's better for gaining new fans. It's I feel myself being a better contributor, not only to the writing industry, but to readers and culture in general. Now, doesn't that sound highbrow? But it's the truth. I can be a much better contributor because you don't want to think about yourself so much. You want to think about how are you going to leave, what's your legacy going to be? Are people going to look back on you and say, like, oh my God, he wrote, like, in particular, like 5 really great books, which you should check out. Like that should be a conversation that should be had like 100, 150 years from now. Or like Marcus Aurelius, 2,000 years from now, maybe, if we last that long as a species, which I don't think we will. Not to be a downer. But, there's just so much in this business that you can't control. And it could be frustrating. It's even more frustrating when like publishers and agents will blame you if things go wrong. And if things go right, they'll kind of like pat themselves on the back and be like, see, yeah, we helped you. That's just the way they are. It's just the way the business is. And it's always been that way. So therefore, like, I kind of reject that stuff. No, if a book succeeds, it's because of me and and my hard work and my effort. And if it fails, it's probably also because of me. Maybe I didn't do it right, But you got to be willing to take responsibility both ways, but you also have to be willing not to judge so much. Just let it go and move on and focus on what's important. What's important is the written word and your output. All right. Now, I hope you've learned a lesson here today. I know I have. Ooh, I was supposed to do this. Otherwise, you're getting like my kick drum in there. You can tell like my space is like full of junk. I got to get rid of it if I plan on moving this fall. Anyway, maybe I should have a garage sale. Can you do that in an apartment? Have a garage sale? I don't know. Most of the stuff's all my ex-wife's. I could give it back to her, put it in her driveway, but she'll just get mad at me. All right. I'm rambling. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.